Pretty unique silhouette. Also, massive shout out to the animation team just for the
how are you?
switching stance.
Yeah, it looks amazing, right?
Thanks for the follow.
Feel
A lot
the
of
weight
time
so
for the
much.
change stance, yes.
Like I could do that for an hour.
Okay, so they actually switch faster than the animation does by quite a bit.
Hero, so those heroes tend to be a bit less extravagant in terms of the amount of moves. So we have a 2-hit chain, right? So light heavy, heavy heavy, heavy light,
Light heavy, yeah.
etc. So first, let's go with the lights. We really wanted to do a superior block focus hero. So all of our lights have superior block. You can see the ones in chains as well.
The gameplay's so loud compared to their mic.
You'll see later whenever she has other lights, it will also have a superior block. That's just a theme that's going to be recurrent.
The lights are also enhanced. Right? Great for offense.
Their volume is quiet.
Exactly. In our case, you want to get to your finishers. So
So all enhanced lights.
and also like that weapon is quite heavy. It kind of really fits with the character.
I think they're adjusting it.
And then for the heavies,
They're adjusting it.
unblockable.
Good.
So you can see, like, just wild swings. And if you notice, the axe gets embedded into the opponent in what we call the Aesir state.
It was like a little pin.
So what does that mean? When you embed the axe in the opponent, you can do a headbutt to just reset your chain,
Oh.
but they can dodge that headbutt, in which case you can guard break them.
Oh.
If they do dodge attack, they will beat your guard break. So in this case,
It's kind of a pseudo lawbringer shove punish.
or dodge or whatever.
So I want to note that headbutt, for all you frame checkers out there, is 400 milliseconds. It is fully unreactable. We've done tests with people that have borderline superhuman reactions, and they were not able to react to them at all. So that's great.
All right, did I miss anything big there? Sorry, guys.
Of course, for the chains, you can also do the zone attack and go to the finisher.
Yeah, so
It's
going to light
27. It's a weird number, but it's not the worst number.
Opener, basically.
Yeah.
My head somewhere else I can see damage. Yeah.
Then I guess we should jump into the specials.
Yeah.
First, let's look at that sprint attack because it's a top attack.
Here we go.
It's kind of quite unique. So dive in.
Okay, we'll dive in top heavy.
Weapon and she crashes down. And yeah. Of course, you can go to the chain.
Exactly. Right. Like we usually tend to do. So it's great.
Yeah.
You have dodge attacks as well.
Yeah. So side dodge light, front dodge light. As you can see, because they're
Front dodge light?
they have
Okay.
that property. So like if you attack me in top heavy, for example, I can just yay.
Oh, and it's like BPs,
And
but it's with a light.
for the openers, of course, you have your enhanced light that helps, but with that shield, people are pretty used to just having a bash opener. Same as other heroes in terms of timing.
I guess it confirms the light.
It
Okay.
helps you to get into that chain, get a extra way to open.
And then that
For
opener goes to that bash.
Yep.
That shield bash goes to your openers, right?
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
doesn't go to
exactly.
your second hit in your chain. So it does open up for chains where you get a chance to get a
So you could CC with that if need be.
Just reset your chain.
Or not CC, you said enhanced lights, not crushing counter.
Because we didn't mention it during the chain. She doesn't have a bash and chain. Her heavy finishers are already unblockable, so you're kind of gonna do your mix-ups with those instead.
And so that was a conscious choice that we made as well, because her defense is quite potent, right? Having chain lights that, actually finisher lights that have superior block. They have like a long delay windows, all that stuff we can do with
Okay,
that.
maybe they are all
We
crushing
wanna
counter.
really focus on her defense there. And there's another little move that we want to talk about right now, right?
Yes. So with shields come great responsibility in a down stance. But this one is quite different. So first, it's kind of like a Ramusha where it's
Okay.
a temporary base
Predicted that.
one. You can cancel your attack recoveries into it as well. But of
Okay.
course, like, I can get guard broken and I can get hit in the recovery. So it's just you're gonna get those moments where you can bait the dodge attack, for example, go into your down stance. But you got to be careful because you got to time it. And then if we look at the follow-ups, so let's see. You have the heavy, which is unblockable. there's something special here we can do in any stance. As I think this is the first time we do that with.
Oh.
It's the first time that we end up having like those type of follow-ups be
Very similar to
you
Armusha.
pick your stance. It's very, very much the core of For Honor to be able to attack in a specific stance, choose where you're going. And this also adds like another layer of depth to this hero a little bit where it's like, well, I can pick my stance. I can go in a situational manner where I have somebody on my left, somebody on my right. What am I going to do with it? And so like the other follow-ups are also interesting as well, right? So
yeah. So you get your top heavy for max damage, the side one if you want to hit someone on your side. You have the light attack. Of course, they have superior block as well.
Yeah.
And can chain.
Oh wait, that light has superior block?
If you have like multiple people around you.
That's interesting.
And just get away from the option. And then you got the bash. That bash can wall splat as well. So you can use it to ledge
So
someone.
that is like Armusha's kick.
It can be used as well just to top heavy for a little bit more damage.
Pretty nice.
Now some of you may have noticed whenever I do block GC, the animation on the other side is quite different than usual. That's a place where we decided, let's try something new, where whenever you block someone with this, you will bind them, right?
Yeah.
So that causes some difference. One, it gives you...
Oh, the enemy is like
decide what you're gonna do,
really
because you have so many
stunned
options.
from that.
The follow-up like wide a bit.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, right? Because it gives you like a lot of control over when you're gonna do stuff. It gives you a
I
little
wonder if
bit
they can
of
get
time
parried
to
if timed right.
Look around what's going on around you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
It also means that if you block a trajectory, like let's say someone's attacking GC, but I'm in the way of the trajectory and I downstand, I'm just gonna interrupt them. The attack will never reach.
Oh,
Yeah,
so this is
it's
gonna
kinda
really
like,
stop
you
externals.
have other heroes that can kind of like babysit gang, what we call it. Like you stay on the sidelines, you hold your full block, and you just wait there. And then you kind of like hope to catch trajectories, and sometimes you do. They don't necessarily bounce. You get your follow-up, but it doesn't feel as good. So in this case, this is a big part of the support hero, right? So we want to be able to
Interesting.
give her a way to very, very effectively counter those big, massive trajectories that we have in group fights. There's a mid on the opposing team. No big deal. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna tap down, block their big trajectories, be able to counter them, save my allies, save a lot of people. So that's really great. But that is also a big part of why it's timed, right? So we wanted to have like that skill-based aspect here, a little bit like we have with BP, where like you have to time things a little bit better. You can't just go and hold down.
If our BPs
doesn't
does
last
stop their
forever.
attack because
So
it flips
It
them.
really rewards skillful play, timing, understanding, knowing how fast attacks are, how slow they are, how you're able to like manipulate the situation around you to really be able to vastly punish your opponents really, really well. That's
Exactly.
super cool. And then, like as we'll see, the entire feat set, like most of the feat set revolves around being able to like block and support your allies there as well. So that's a big.
Yeah, if it's
part.
unblockable, it won't. It'd be good against heroes like
another
Medjay.
thing that we did. So
Or like
you know
Kensei.
when you parry someone at 1 HP, and then their friend attack you, and then you parry their friend, and then you're like, oh, I can't kill you now. You recovered. Well, let's fix that with this nonsense. So because we're pushing a bind on the opponent, the more people that you block, everyone will be binded by the knock of the shield. So then it kind of allows you to choose your target. That's something that other heroes don't have. Normally, if I block someone externally with a down stance, my follow-up is going to be on them. With Varangian, you can choose your target, and no matter who you block, you're always going to be able to hit whoever you blocked. And you can also
Wait,
use
what?
items to peel you. You can just attack the external as well, as we see in the video.
Yeah.
And
Neat,
now
that's
you
a
can see
long,
because
like,
we can choose
immunity
your
window.
target, we put a lot of effort into a new tech where she will
Ooh.
detect where the hit is coming from, and as you see in the video right now, she will just play an animation accordingly while still looking at her target.
So there's a lot of animation in this system.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Because we had to really plan ahead on like every
Okay.
direction from the player that you're locked on and you're fighting. But if it's coming there, but if somebody
wanna see them target swap it.
So from there going on the other side, the shield's pretty big. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So,
We got to
so
swing
how
it
do
around.
we do
yeah.
it? How do we turn?
That's a
all the
long
accuracies?
duration. But
It's a
unblockables
really
and bashes will
complex
shut it down if they
and
hold it too long.
It really gives the defensive like feeling of this character that she can protect you if you fight with her on your team. It's It
Yeah,
feels good.
it gives you
feels
that
good.
I wonder if the little light poke after it is parryable because she
Exactly.
external the one on the left, but then lighted the person in front of her.
The tactical aspect.
And it looked like a
of
poke.
I
It
can
didn't look
block
like
multiple people.
a swing
And
or
what's super
nothing.
cool
It
is
looked
that
like a confirmed
if
move,
you
but I could be
manage to
wrong.
block 4 people, right? You have the time to choose who you're going to pick and who you're going to do your follow-up against. And that's kind of part of the tech that we've built for this hero where
Yep.
if I block a single person, I have my follow-up against that single person. It's good. If I block 2, I have time to choose which one of the 2. If I block 4, you have time for all 4.
Yep.
And as soon as you throw an attack, everybody that you did bind with your block kind of gets out of it. So there's no real situations where you're going to get punished by somebody that you blocked by because you did something else. And it's really all about like making those choices, making sure that you have that control in your hands and have like perfecting the skill, the situational awareness, knowing what's going on around you. It's amazing for this. And again, like the animation team did a wonderful
Yes.
job. Alex did a wonderful job there as well.
Yeah.
Making sure that we keep that feeling of I'm blocking in direction. We don't have like, spinning around like we have
Yeah.
with other heroes when they blocked. It looks really, really good
Yeah.
there.
And
Like
it's important to mention that the GPP team as well
Yeah.
like worked a lot on
At-
this.
at
So
the
I
programmers,
bet-
yeah.
yeah, it was
There was
really
a lot
like
of
a group
work.
effort to make it work.
Yeah, this
And
was
behave
not
the
a
way
yeah, this was
want.
not a simple topic
No.
to tackle
Yeah,
for
not
the
at all.
team,
No, no,
but
But
yeah.
you guys pulled it off amazing. So it's
Yeah.
super great.
Looks great.
really cool.
All right. So
yeah,
we want to talk about feats a little bit?
Yeah, I think we're at the feat.
Feats,
now.
let's go.
So, yeah, let's go. We're gonna run the video. So the first feat is called Take Shelter. So this is part of our support kit. Whenever you land a superior block, you
Oh,
can
heals
see the little
teammates.
spear going to the Valkyrie, and it heals
Oh,
her, but it
that's
doesn't
sick.
heal Varangian. The Varangian guard. So that means that
That's a good balance too, to not heal her.
you're basically just gonna be standing there in team fights, healing all of your allies.
Yeah.
You're keeping them healthy. Of course.
That's strong,
quite a good
man.
heal, so
That's a good amount of
you're
healing.
healing yourself. That's kind of the
Yeah, and there's no cooldown on it, and it
Yep.
triggers off of every super block, so your full block and as well your crushing counters when you're using your
Yep.
lights.
exactly.
So it triggers off of all that, so that's pretty good.
Oh, does it with the crush counter lights
Now,
too?
for
Oh
the
my
feat
god.
two,
Yeah.
because your feat 1 is not keeping you alive, we have Mystia Ward, which is whenever you superior block an attack, you will gain a big defense buff for a short duration. That's kind of like the Lawbringer feat 3.
Yeah, it's kind of like Righteous Deflection, right? But,
Yeah,
but it's on superior block instead of being on pack.
Exactly.
Okay,
just to
so
make
is it
sure
with
that whenever you
CCs
get those
and
big-
full guard?
Big team fights that you don't go down too fast. And now to go back into the support, here's the Aesir Aura. So that one is every single time you land an unblockable heavy, you will pulse a AoE that will give a little attack buff to you and your friends. So that really allows you.
Oh, that's
to get
nice.
that Aesir bind with
And it's not a
the-
crazy. You went from
and,
27 to
your
32.
friend can kinda
So
take
that's
advantage
like
of it with the damage buff.
So all of this kind of plays
Maybe
with
like
the
a
support and
20% buff?
defensive and tactical aspects that we talked about. That it's really great there.
Yeah.
All right, and then we got feat 4.
Yeah, and then feat 4, reclaim the land. So going back to fight the uncle.
Bloody spear storm.
So as you see, it seems like it's a projectile from the sky. So that's kind of like a spear storm. It acts kind of like a.
Oh, it was a
so you
spear
can do
storm.
it Indoor. So there's gonna be a bunch of spears that fall into your enemy for damage, and then it's gonna leave a doom banner, which is if people are familiar, it's
Oh, okay.
Berserker feat 2. So it's
Damage was 40
banner.
damage. That's not too
And then
crazy.
Every enemies inside of it is gonna have lesser defense, and
Yeah, debuffs defense.
Huh.
It's really great for like.
It's like a worse fire flask.
And you throw that. There's a bunch of people in
But
there.
combined with a fire
Even if
flask, it
you
would be
dodge out, well,
disgusting.
then you can go into that banner and then try to beat me. So
Yeah.
it feels again. It feeds into all those aspects.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really really interesting feats
yeah.
there.
Like we're going there. There's a banner.
Yeah.
Attack everyone. Get the buff. Heal everyone.
Yeah.
Embed your axe in people.
There you go. Works really good.
Easy.
Super
These are pretty good feats. The first one,
great. Yeah, so
especially
definitely a lot of
is
cool, like,
really
defensive
good.
options, tactical, like you were talking about here. Just such a huge support character, which is really fun. Like I like that a lot personally, so I can't wait to play her next week as well. Do you have some other things you want to show off though too? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think we have the
We have a
emote
video
and
for
the
emotes.
Yeah,
execution
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and
Let's go
emotes.
see.
As well, yeah. Max
So let's
G
jump
Kuda.
into the emotes.
Yes.
So we got the combat emotes here.
There you go.
Uh,
So we have all the emotes for her, representing herself. Like she rally people around her, like the Doom banner, exactly. Like it's a bit that, like the banner that comes in. You want to be with her when you fight. Yeah, some also
Okay.
fun emote because
Super cool emotes, yeah.
Some other fun ones, yeah.
I mean we have She's so
You
so
want to recreate the trailer? You get all the emotes to recreate the trailer. That's super
yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. It really showed the personality of the character itself, and of course, player customization. It's really fun to be the
Yeah.
one that call out your ally. So
cool. It's a huge aspect of For Honor.
yeah,
It's
it is.
amazing.
It is.
That's probably gonna be a default right there.
Things don't work as
yeah.
intended. So
All right, so we're gonna have executions that'll be coming up
Yes.
shortly. as
But
well.
she's got to
This-
finish
yeah.
stretching.
Yeah,
though.
she
This
gotta
is
finish
super
stretching, right?
Yeah.
important.
I really like this,
Yeah.
this emote.
It
It's
looks
like
amazing.
I mean,
you press it,
those
you're like,
weapons are heavy, so sometimes you just have to
It
Oh,
also
you know that
reminds
shit's gonna be
like when
spammed.
in game you gotta stretch sometime, take
Yes.
a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
of
you know.
water.
And maybe that one too. That one looks like it's
Got
good
those
stomping
executions
Yes.
spam
also.
potential.
Yeah,
That's
They
cool.
look
they're
amazing
so
here.
good. They're so
Yes.
good.
So you really feel the heaviness of this fighter
Yeah.
in those executions.
And I love like
That's a
how
decent
we
one
kinda
there.
have The shield with like
Yes.
kind of punching with the shield as
She
well.
really used it more like
Yeah.
as a defense.
Ooh.
Yes, but also as
It's pointy, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it has a dual like she can use it as to protect, but also to attack,
Yeah.
which she
Yep.
does.
And this is where
Okay.
also like the violent Viking part of it
Yes.
comes into play, right? It's
exactly what Stefan was saying in the beginning.
like exactly right. So
yeah.
she's more.
All right,
controlling
that is a
and
very bloody
fighting,
one
so
that would get me
with the execution,
demonetized.
You see her Viking side really come out, and it's
Yes.
like, yeah, I'm not gonna,
She's violent, but not like control.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very controlled violence.
You
but
don't want to
yeah.
have this axe embedded in your face.
Exactly.
That's for
I
sure.
don't think anybody does. No, it looks
That is
very
the fear of
painful.
shit.
Well, yeah.
I
those
thought
are
of a
the
fear
things
on
that
like two
really
of those
cool.
X's.
Yeah, great work on the animation team again, putting all that together. Just super bloody and violent and horrifying to think about. So great stuff as always. So, Alex
Oh, what the?
here, but if you were to say just maybe for new players here coming in, like
Good job,
wanting
Twitch.
to, start playing the Varangian Guard, who what would be like maybe the closest character facsimile in the game right now, just so they can get used to it.
It feels kind of a mix in between, I would say, like Warlord, surprisingly.
Surprising,
and
yeah.
The enhanced
and
lights.
Aramusha, in the sense that the down stance is temporary like Aramusha, and you can do it after your recoveries. So you kind of get like.
That's really the only
a
part
lot
that
of
feels
the
like
heaviness
Aramusha,
of
though.
of the Warlord,
Mhm.
and those recovery cancel of Aramusha. Yeah.
There's a bit of Black Prayer in there as well. Like
Oh, yeah,
you
for
also
sure.
like
Mhm.
do stuff from external trajectories. That's really good there as well.
Like if a new player picks it up,
I'm
it's,
curious how big the trajectories are for those
get
side
into your chain,
unblockables.
Try to learn how to.
Because the
to
target
use
swapping with it may be
cancels
really
in,
good.
in group fights, and it should be good.
Nice.
It's great because it's the hero's not like it's simple to play. Like it's easy to pick up, but it's really hard to master
Yeah.
every little detail with it. That's really good.
Exactly. Your positioning, what attack to use,
Yeah.
when to defend.
I don't think it's gonna be that hard to
So
master.
with all of that too, like how do you feel like this is gonna impact
But
like the overall meta?
Pretty decent
Yeah,
positioning, so that's
competitive,
probably
all
why.
that?
So one of the big things that we were keeping in mind while designing this hero is, as the game has been moving more towards big group fights, big wide trajectories, the meta has been super impacted by this. Why we've seen the rise of Magi, rise of like heroes like Jondaliner and stuff that have those big hits, those big hit boxes around them. So this hero
Yeah, it is with his
built to
unblockable.
be a counter to this, right? So it's, if there is a Varangian guard on the opposing team, you have to be careful where you're going to be throwing your attacks, how you're going to be doing your stuff. Yes, it's not a super hard.
Hey, that's how to counter
It
her?
still works really quite well. So we're
Um,
really expecting to be able to see her more into those
Ash and
competitions
unblockable
where
mix up,
you
really.
need to defeat opposing teams that are really using those group fight tools that we've
You can't stop your
that we've been
unblockables.
building all over this like this past year and a
Yeah.
half. So it's really built around this. We had this in mind while we were building this hero, as well as when we were like buffing up group fights. So this is how
Tiani
I
was
really
S
feel
tier.
it's gonna go.
They just
Both
fixed
in
him, that's all.
regular gameplay and in competitive, right? Because in regular, it's gonna happen. Once
He's
in a
still
while,
good.
you'll be able
Yeah.
to block one of those trajectories. But at competitive levels, I've seen the players that we're gonna be seeing playing later use her very effectively. Use all those superior blocks. Use that full block. All of these things really well. So I can really see her getting.
I think she
picked on a lot
really
of
will be
situations
very good
very
defensively.
It's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Decent
And I
staller,
think you've
but very good
described
with
the
a
meta, I
teammate.
know during the development as like this is a character where like she wants to be supporting.
think it's
her
18.
group, her team. So you, as an opponent, you want to kill her, but it's really hard to kill her because she's constantly supporting her team. So like,
Exactly,
yeah, it's
right? So-
like
Yeah, that's a big part of it where you want to like make sure that she's there, she's a threat, And it's one of the first few times where you're like, well, I have to kill this hero first.
Yeah.
And we built with
Yeah.
that in mind, right? With all those
Yeah.
defensive tools. That
So if they have a
make
teammate
make
helping her
hard
get
to kill.
confirmed
So it's
unblockables,
all those
she's
little
going to be getting that
aspects that
attack
blend together
pulse
that
all
makes
the
it something
time.
super interesting. And the other thing that we were hoping to have is, if you're playing this game
And you really got to
have a
avoid
friend
hitting
that's
her half the
starting or
time.
whatever, you
It's
can
hard. It's
play
awkward.
with them and stick close to them and actually actively help them in group fights and protect them and defend them, and it fits really, really well with the hero's thematic, but also with what we're kind of gameplay elements and where we're trying to push the game.
Awesome. Super
Well, what if
cool.
there's like
Well,
4 of
thank
them?
you
Who
so
do you
much, Andy, for sharing all
prioritize?
of that, and
thank
Vanessa
you.
too for being on the couch.
Thank you.
Anything else
Option?
you'd like
I
to
mean,
say?
yeah.
I mean, thanks to
Keep
the
her out of the
animation
fight.
team, Ricardo, Nawel, and Michel. I mean, on their great work on this hero.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm really excited for the player to
Yeah.
to
Fred
play
on the
with her a little
VFX,
bit.
have the
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
GPP
Like
side,
honestly,
The
like
animation are
every
amazing.
so many
department that
people
we have,
working
like so
on it.
from
Yes.
animation,
Yeah.
from the fight team, like the entirety of the fight team always participates in the development of every single hero. We all work hard together
Yeah.
to push this as far as we can.
Yeah.
But then we have the programming side of it
Yes.
that they did a
they
ton
help
of work.
quite a lot on this
The
one.
VFX department had a lot of work on their plate as well. So it's a big collaborative effort. Like massive shout outs to everybody on these teams. We've all worked super hard, and like we have everything to be proud of. It's really, really good.
Amazing. Cool. Thank you. So yeah.
Yeah, corruption is
you're
gonna
as
be a good way to
excited as
counter
we
it for
are,
sure.
And if you want to see the next stage of all this, well, what better chance than what's coming up next? We have exhibition matches with some very special players who joined us in
Yeah.
the studio live, who are going to be doing some hands-on real scrimmage matches using the Varangian guard. So you don't want to miss that. So stick around because we'll be right back.